This is Kansei, the second of the murder mystery trilogy by Sakevisual. Released back in 2011. I believe it just recently got a remaster for the Switch, even. Also known as Kansei the Second Turn. And to my knowledge, it's a direct continuation of the events of the first game, Jisei. Which, if you remember, Jisei left us with a bit of an introduction to further mysteries at hand. Left us still not knowing our titular protagonist's name, as well as other mysteries of why they left town, why they're hiding their name, among other things. We have the industrial espionage case. The question of who else is out there looking for this information that was being sold at that coffee shop on that fateful day. We, of course, have the memory of Precious Chance trying to fucking kill us for finding out about the USB and letting on about it. What is she after? Who is she working for? We have more mysteries abound. Let us dive back in. This thing is impossible.
A tangram isn't that hard. You're just not thinking about it right.
Oh yeah? So how exactly am I supposed to think about it?
You need to be more flexible. You should be open to the idea that what looks like one thing might just be a small part of something completely different. The outside shape doesn't always give you a good idea of what's inside.
I mean, like how my tiny little sister is such a huge genius.
Just like that.
Who on earth invented this thing anyways? It's such a weird puzzle.
Well, I think that according to legend, the tangram happened when someone dropped a square tile and it broke into 7 pieces. When he tried to put them back together, he discovered that he could shape it into many different things.
So basically we're having fun at the expense of some poor guy who broke his tile.
Well, if it weren't for that, wouldn't the tile just be a boring tile like all the other tiles? But because of what happened, it's now a famous puzzle that's been seen across the world. Sometimes, in order to find a greater purpose, you have to be broken first.
That's deep. Broken, huh? I think I'm happier just being a boring old tile that no one will ever notice.
I don't think we get the luxury of choosing what happens to us.
You don't think we get to decide our future?
I never said that. We don't get to decide what happens to us, but we can always decide how to respond to it.
You know, you sure think about a lot of deep stuff for a 14-year-old. I thought girls your age were supposed to be into cute guys or nail polish.
That's a stereotype, and you know it.
Oh, I didn't allowed to tease you? Besides, I'm sure you'll start thinking about a boy one day. When that day comes, you better make sure he gets my approval first. I don't want to lose my sister to some punk kid who's no good.
Stop choking. I told you, I'm not interested in that sort of thing. Don't worry, you're not going to lose me anytime soon.
Oh.
Getting nowhere in such reality, something only to find dead ends, running and falling down to your knees, trapped, wanting to escape the trap.
Running from the past, on a racing stage, trapped in the confines of our minds. Even in the name of good on a roasties, clashing with our eyes. The world so full of fear, regret, the hurt and hate is felt. Whatever hope you
Working hard? Holy shit. Where am I? Open my eyes slowly and take in my surroundings. Coffee table, books, computer. Looks like a pretty average apartment. Something feels off, though.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Oh, right. It's not an apartment, it's a prison. All thanks to me sticking my nose into a murder yesterday.
I hope you slept well.
Why do you care? Aki sits beside me on the couch.
You're our guest, after all.
Except for the part where I don't want to be here.
Well, there's not much I can do about that. You have to admit it's a lot nicer than police custody, though.
I don't see why Detective Gursky thought it was necessary to detain me anyways. I already solved the murder yesterday. The murderer even confessed.
Confessions can be recanted. It's best to have the most solid case possible in situations like this.
What about Naoki? He was there. Why not use him?
I'm sure they'll use my brother too, but the fact remains that you're the one who solved the case. That makes you the strongest witness they have.
I roll my eyes. Whatever. There's plenty of painfully obvious evidence at the scene already. You hardly need me.
You'd be surprised what expensive lawyers are capable of doing. We need the most airtight case possible.
She's
Miko
got a
might seem
point.
like a relaxed guy, but he's through.
Miko? You mean Detective Gursky?
Yeah, Miko Gursky.
You seem awfully familiar with him.
You think so?
Her expression breaks into a wide grin. I can only assume there's a story here that she's not telling me.
Anyway, you should thank me for convincing him to let you stay with us. With us, you get a nice bed, good food, and...
Aki, I got the coffee.
Naoki opens the door to the apartment, triumphantly holding up a cup of coffee.
coffee.
Oh, perfect timing. Naoki stumbles as he enters, gasping at the air in an attempt to catch himself. A young girl with pale skin and white hair appears from the hallway and reaches out, calmly lifting the coffee cup from his outstretched hand as he falls forward. She steps to the side as Naoki goes crashing to the ground. The girl gazes placidly at Naoki lying on the floor.
Be careful.
Oh.
Ooh, nice save.
The young girl nods and hands the cup of coffee to me before disappearing back into the hallway. Who was that?
That's Li Mei.
Oh? I saw her yesterday, but she just kind of nodded at me and walked off. Naoki stands and rubs his head ruefully.
That's Li Mei for you.
She's a quiet child. Quiet child. Quiet?
But
Anyway, there's too much going on in her head, so it's a little hard on her to maintain conversations.
what? She's like a genius kid or something? Naoki and Aki exchange glances. What did I say?
Not exactly. It's a little more complicated than that.
Why don't we talk about it on the way there?
There? Where are we going?
To speak with our client, of course.
It doesn't take long for us to leave Edgewater. I gaze sleepily out of the car window and struggle to sit up straight in my seat. It's still early morning and the city is only faintly outlined against the pale sky. I take a few sips of my coffee before dozing off completely. Oh, this is nice. What? The cityscape outside the car is transformed into a country scene. I vaguely remember passing the big city, but I'm sure I fell asleep after that. Typical. Gaze at the rolling countryside as it passes by. All I see are clusters of trees with telephone poles dotting the side of the road. Aki's driving is surprisingly sedated. Considering her personality, I expected a lot more road rage. She seems content to chug along slightly below the speed limit, even though the road is perfectly straight and no other cars are in sight. Responsible driver. Respect her. I feel like we're creeping along at an incredibly slow pace. I guess this is why we had to leave early. He's thinking to sit in front. Glancing in the back seat, I see Naoki dozing, his head resting on his chest. Li Mei is awake, but she's staring blankly out the window.
Glad you're awake. Did you enjoy your sleep?
No, not particularly. The seat feels lumpy and now my neck hurts. Naoki laughs and shakes her head.
At least you're honest. Should we have gotten you something stronger than a triple shot?
No, it's not your fault. It'll kick in soon enough. look out the window again, trying to focus on the scenery. Looks like we're far away from the city by now. Any reason we had to leave so early?
We have a long way to go to meet with our client, and he's the sort of guy who will get very fussy if we're late.
Where are we going anyway? What are we supposed to be doing? Who's this client we're talking about? Wait, you said you were going to tell me about Li Mei, didn't you?
You're overflowing with questions. I suppose I can't blame you. You're not the only one with questions, though. In fact, you're a pretty big question mark yourself. Let's make a deal, shall we? You ask a question, then I ask a question. We'll trade answers.
I guess that works. Where are we going?
A small estate out in the countryside. It belongs to one Mr. William Auten.
Oh, Auten, as in Auten Engineering.
Got it in one.
Yeah, that's the company we were dealing with last time, at Jisei. So he's the guy who hired you to track Sarah Blackmore because she was stealing information from him.
Yep. Well, until she was murdered, that is.
Yeah, there is that.
We reported to him yesterday about what happened.
You mean about how Miss Bergstrom hired Sarah to steal from him?
That, and the fact that Miss Bergstrom claimed a third party was also interested in the information. He didn't sound too happy about that, so he ordered us to come see him today and give a full report in person.
Wow, that's a little demanding.
I can't blame him. His entire company's at stake here. I hope you don't mind coming with us. Since you were there yesterday, it seems only natural to bring you along.
I mean, not like I had much choice in the matter. Yeah, I get it. I'm sure the real reason why she's taking me along is because she promised Detective Gursky that she'd keep an eye on me. But I guess I don't mind talking to this Auten guy. It's not like I had any plans for today anyway. It might be interesting to see the house of a millionaire. Why does Mr. Auten live so far out of the way anyways? Considering that his company's in the middle of Edgewater, wouldn't it make more sense not to live a gazillion miles from the place?
Who knows? Word is that he really hates the city. His assistant said that he rarely leaves his house, conducting most meetings via satellite.
Weird. His entire company is built on cutting-edge technology. But doesn't want to live around a couple stoplights? Aki shrugs.
Rich people are eccentric. Comes with a job description, I think.
Sounds more like paranoia to me.
Maybe it is.
Yeah, you're not wrong
Okay,
there.
my turn. What's your name?
I was hoping you wouldn't ask that.
You do realize how suspicious it makes you look when you hide it, right?
It's complicated.
Things are only as complicated as you want them to be, but I respect your privacy.
A girl who can insert thoughts into my head whenever she wants respects my privacy? Ironic.
We're going to have to call you something, though. Is Kangai okay?
Kangai?
Roughly translated, it means strong emotions. It's sort of a play on Kansei.
Oh. Is that supposed to mean something to me?
We call the ability to feel other people's emotions Kansei. It's like a super sensitivity.
Ah.
Since you have a type of Kansei, we can call you Kangai. Kan-gai. Get it?
Dun-dun-ch. Yes, but it's stupid.
I never claimed to be good at picking names.
Try to think of something else, please.
I'll see what I can do.
Lean back in my seat and adjust myself, attempting to get comfortable. Is there any reason why your car is so tiny?
Is that your next question?
No, I'm just saying there's not much space here.
Li Mei never complained about it.
Yeah, well, Li Mei is tiny. Oh yeah, what's the deal with her anyway?
Now that's definitely a new question.
Right. I feel like, let's ask. So what's the deal with Li Mei anyway? Earlier you said there was a lot going on in her head.
All of us have a sort of Kansei like you do. We can all sense thoughts and feelings to some extent.
And?
Li Mei's Kansei is probably the purest form of them all.
Oh?
She experiences the emotions of everyone around her.
Everyone?
Everyone. If you're happy, she's happy. If you're sad, she's sad. Everyone else's emotions are constantly streaming into her mind. She has to spend a lot of her energy sorting out which feelings are hers and which aren't.
I turn to look at Li Mei. Her eyes are open. Her body is unmoving as she stares straight out the car window. Her mind must be a mess. Wonder if she can feel my pity for her. Can she even tell that it's me? Or is it all mixed up inside her? Man, should I even be feeling this way? If she can sense it, it's probably really demanding. Probably really demeaning to her that I'm feeling bad for her. Don't want her to think that I think of her as a poor little kid or something. Desperately try to conjure up another emotion to squelch my current mood. My mind is completely blank. For a brief moment, Li Mei glances at me from the corner of her eye. She nods slowly, almost imperceptibly. I think she's trying to tell me she's okay.
Alright, next question. Where are you from, anyway?
Feels like a bit of sense of sympathy going on here, if you remember from Roof Double. Los Angeles.
I'd rather you don't lie about it.
What?
Miko told me about it. Yesterday you told him that you were from LA, but when he asked you about precincts, you didn't correct him. In Los Angeles, police work districts, not precincts. I'm surprised he didn't cuff you on the spot for lying to him. Actually, no, I'm not.
Oh? Turn my gaze back to the scenery outside, unsure of how to answer. Detective Gursky knew I was lying yesterday. Why did he let me get away with it? Did he recognize me? I don't remember him, though. I've been living in Los Angeles for the past 3 years. Isn't that good enough?
And before that?
Only one question at a time, remember? Aki raises an eyebrow.
Of course. Go ahead.
Well, I guess we'll get down to that. Who are you people, anyway? You work for high-profile corporations like engineering. The police seem to trust you almost unconditionally. You just look like a bunch of kids. Aki bursts out laughing.
You're a kid too, aren't you?
Yeah, well...
We're a special investigation agency. Our work isn't always as exciting as corporate espionage and murder. More often than not, we're just snapping photos of cheating lovers. As for why the police trust us, that's sort of a weird story. That's for another question, though. My turn now.
Aki grins.
Where did you live before Los Angeles?
Somehow I knew you were going to ask that.
Oh, am I really that predictable? Not going to answer?
Edgewater.
What?
I used to live here. Edgewater.
Here?
Oh. Aki sounds surprised.
3 years. I suppose that makes sense. We've only been here for 2 years.
She glances at me out of the corner of her eye. I'm sure she wants to ask more, but for once she doesn't press the issue.
Well, I guess that was my question. Your turn.
What did you have to do to get the police to trust you?
We stopped the assassination of a visiting dignitary.
You what?
Everyone makes a big deal about it, but it was sort of a fluke. Naoki was trailing a businessman and secretary who were putting in extra hours at an expensive hotel.
And?
He saw the assassin, thought it was suspicious, and called me in. We intercepted the assassin, saved the day, and apparently that makes us trustworthy heroes.
Seriously?
Seriously.
You'll forgive me if I find that hard to believe. A story like that is ridiculous.
So, you're the boy with a Kansei that allows you to experience the final moments of any dead body you touch. You should be used to the ridiculous by now.
Okay, fair enough. Guess she had a point there. It still doesn't sound like a real story, though.
You missed it.
Jump a little as Li Mei speaks up from the back seat. She's been silent for so long, I almost forgot she was there. Li Mei is pointing at a small side road that we just passed.
Oops!
Aki gives the steering wheel a tight spin and the car's tires screech. The car spins in the road. Holy shit.
What? Ow!
Naoki jerks awake as his head bumps against the window he was using for a headrest. Edgewater drift.
Sorry, missed a turn.
He rubs his head slowly.
Yeah, I noticed. I guess we're almost there.
Yep, just a few minutes now. Anyway, what were we talking about? Right, Mr. Auten. He's one of those self-made men you hear about all the time, built Auten Engineering himself from the ground up. But he's also ridiculously secretive. No interviews, hardly any TV appearances. His assistant, Sophia Millerson, does most of that.
We did see her in the intro. Car slows to a stop as we approach Mr. Auten's house. I squint out the window to get a better look at it. Looks like a very expensive, very pretty box. Kinda small for a rich guy, though. This it? This is it?
This is it.
Looks like someone just glued some fancy doors and windows onto a huge box.
Yeah, it kinda does. I guess since he always stays inside, he doesn't care what it looks like on the outside.
Aki kicks open the dark car door and leaps out. The front doors of the house swing open silently and a strict-looking woman approaches us.
Are you the representatives from the agency?
Yep, I'm Aki Mizutani. You must be Sophia Millerson. We spoke on the phone.
Aki thrusts her hand out, but the woman merely raises a skeptical eyebrow.
You're not exactly what I pictured.
Looking at Aki's wrinkled shirt and dusty pants, I can see why she might be a little thrown off.
Being a private investigator involves having an appearance that doesn't stand out, ma'am.
True.
Well said. Well said. The woman places her hands on her hips and sighs reluctantly.
Well, come in. Mr. Auten seems unusually eager to speak with you.
Aki kicks the car door shut and motions for us to follow her. I climb out and stumble for a moment as my knees buckle underneath my weight. Ugh, my legs are cramped from sitting in that car for so long. Sophia watches me impassively. She doesn't look impressed. Naoki comes stumbling out of the car after me, and we both do our best not to look like a pair of goldfish who've been dumped into it unceremoniously out of our bowl.
Are these your associates?
If she was unimpressed before, she's plain worried now. Can't say I blame her.
They are.
Aki steps to the side as Naoki and Li Mei approach Sophia.
This is Li Mei, and this is my brother Naoki.
Li Mei glides up to Sophia like a swan and offers her a polite bow.
And he is?
Sophia points at me. Aki stares at me, and a hint of panic shows in her eyes. Already made it clear that I don't intend to give my name away. I guess that puts her in a somewhat difficult position.
That would be... Kangai.
What? Kangai? She's really gonna stick with that weird name? I mean, she doesn't have a choice.
Kangai? Unusual.
Turn to Aki and make a face, but Sophia either doesn't notice or care. Aki shrugs apologetically.
Sorry, it's the best I could do on short notice. You should have given me something to work with.
Yeah. I'm suddenly regretting not telling her my name was Fred or something. Guess it's better than nothing. Yeah, you set her up for that. So no getting mad over it. It's what you're stuck with now. Sure, you got a good reason for it, but what you're stuck with now, Kangai. Okay, flash a red light. What's that light?
It's a retina detector.
Sophie indicates a small camera set in the door frame that we passed through.
The house takes a shot of the eyes of anyone who passes through. It's useful for identification purposes. There are other sensors around the house that also capture your retina image. The house can remember your preferences and adjust things like lighting and temperature as soon as you enter the room.
Interesting. Whoa, that's more than a little bit creepy. I thought Mr. Auten lived out here because he didn't like technology.
Mr. Auten lives here because he enjoys the peace and quiet being away from the city affords him.
That is an effectively dismissive expression.
This house, however, has the most cutting-edge security possible, including quite a few innovations not yet available on the market.
That's understandable. Fun. I'm sure the house is already looking up my dental records.
Now, please don't dawdle. Mr. Auten's other guest is already here waiting for you.
Other guests?
To enter the house, I see the outline of a man standing at the far edge of the room, inspecting a scroll on the wall.
Oh no.
Oh no?
Oh, great. I should have known you'd be here.
Hi, detective.
Miko, to what do we owe the pleasure?
Aki doesn't bother to disguise the sarcasm in her voice. I thought you two got on well. What is this?
Detective Gursky played a major role in the apprehension of the murderer yesterday. It's only natural that he'd be invited back here by Mr. Auten.
Yeah, I was actually there, unlike some people.
Yeah. Detective Gursky looks pointedly at Aki, but she just gazes coolly back at him. Sophia ignores the chill in the air between them and nods at us curtly.
Please make yourselves comfortable. Mr. Auten is finishing up on a conference call. He'll see you once it's finished.
Ooh, can we explore the house?
If you wish, the house currently logs you all as guests, so any doors you are authorized to pass through will open automatically.
Oh, nice. Aki takes her brother's hand and gives it a quick tug.
Let's go!
Okay.
Guess we're going exploring. Naoki trails after her, looking unsure. At the far end of the room, Detective Gursky rolls his eyes. Sophia turns and heads up a narrow staircase, presumably to do something important. The room is silent now. I swallow, trying hard not to make a sound. Detective Gursky turns to inspect the fountain in the middle of the room with feigned interest. Unfortunately, he looks more annoyed than interested. Li Mei stands silently in the center of the room, staring off at nothing in particular. There's something about her that bothers me, but I can't figure out what it is. Her stiff body and distant gaze remind me of the corpses I've seen, but even a dead body doesn't give me this uneasy feeling she does. Aki said that she feels the emotions of everyone, but it looks to me as if she doesn't feel any emotions at all. Before I can think about it more, the front door slides open to reveal a young woman with slightly unkempt hair, standing on the other side.
Oh! I'm so sorry I'm late. I got lost on the way here. Do you know how easy it is to miss that turn to get here?
Quite. What? The one looks at me expectantly. What if Sophia knows there's a visitor? Should I go upstairs and tell her?
You must be William Auten. I've heard so much about you.
What? Liam? Thought Aki said that Mr. Auten's name was William. She smiles and holds her hand out. I give it a quick shake before stepping aside to let her in. Yeah, I'm not...
It's okay. I'm not here to talk about all those rumors. Rich people always get the worst of it, don't they?
She walks around the perimeter of the room, examining everything quickly with her eyes.
And even if they are true, you're free to do what you want with your life. No one should judge you for your choices, right?
Right, but what? I don't think...
Oh, right. Marissa Klein from Modern Trends. I'm here for the interview. Did your uncle not tell you about it?
She flits around the room again, stopping to inspect the bamboo that stands like a guard by the hallway. Detective, help?
Pretty! Is it real?
I don't know. I honestly have no idea. Looks up and notices Detective Gursky for the first time.
Oh, hello.
She rushes up to him and holds out her hand.
Marissa Klein.
Yes, I heard.
Marissa nibbles on the edge of her fingernail coyly.
Oh, good. So we can skip the formalities and just chat?
Is she flirting with him? I'm not sure I want to watch this.
I'm afraid I'm only here for business, ma'am.
She gives him a gentle push. Oh, you.
Oh, don't call me that. It makes me feel so old. Or are you supposed to be all formal with me because you work here?
I don't work here.
Marissa's eyes grow wide.
Aghast? Even more interesting.
Tell me all your secrets. She points to the fountain that Gursky is looking at.
Are you an art fan?
We just had to touch the dragon coiled around a glass sphere.
Please refrain from touching the art.
Marissa freezes as Sophia appears at the bottom of the staircase.
Miss Klein, I presume?
Yep. Sorry,
You're 2 hours late. Mr. Auten has other business to attend to now.
Oh.
Hang on! I called and said I'd be late, though.
I don't recall receiving such a call.
Marissa turns to me and grabs me by the shoulders.
You didn't tell her?
Tell her what?
You're the one who answered the phone when I called. Why didn't you tell her?
I just got here. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why is it everything is somehow my fault? Marissa blinks and releases her grip on me.
Wait, what's your name?
Kangai. I choke a little as I spit the name out. It sounds even dumber than when Aki says it.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I thought you were William Auten.
Yeah, I gathered as much.
Miss Klein, you may have called ahead, but the fact remains that you are very late, and Mr. Auten has a strict schedule.
Wait, this is my first major interview. Is there any way I can squeeze it in today?
Rookie journalist? Sophia sighs.
Come with me.
Oh, thank you.
Marissa skitters up the staircase after Sophia. Detective Gursky is eyeing me with a quizzical look on his face.
Kangai?
Yeah, what of it?
Did Aki pick that name for you?
Is it that obvious?
She's notoriously bad at naming things. When she was a girl, she had a cat that was born with only a stub for a tail. She named the cat Stubtail.
Great. Guess I should be grateful that I didn't get saddled with a name like Kid Who Talks to Dead People.
I'm sorry you're stuck with those kids right now. If I had my way, I wouldn't group you in with them.
What are you talking about?
They all belong to the government. You know that, right?
The government? Wait, what?
Miko, are you gossiping about me again?
Oh, were your ears burning? Aki enters from the hallway and slaps Detective Gursky on the back.
I'd rather you don't feed our friend Kangai here any misinformation.
Well, I haven't lied to him, if that's what you mean.
Mr. Auten will see you now.
Sophia descends the staircase with Marissa Klein in tow. Sophia looks even more annoyed than usual. Marissa's smiling, but it looks forced. Did you get your interview?
Of course. It'll be a winner, so be sure to look out for it.
That was awfully quick. Unless the time passing is deceptive. She points her pen at me and jerks it back like a gun.
Bang!
Girl. Somehow I doubt her article will win very much.
Hey, Sophie, you don't mind if I have a look around, interview the staff, and other nonsense, right?
I do very much mind. It seemed to be taking all of Miss Millerson's strength not to strangle Marissa.
Please make it quick.
Righto.
Marissa salutes and heads off down the hallway.
Shall we get going?
Sophia waits patiently for us to follow her. The five of us file up the stairs and follow her down a hallway to a glass door. Sophia knocks on it twice.
Mr. Auten, the investigators you requested are here.
A small burst of static pops from a speaker in the wall. Mr. Alton's voice emanates from the tiny box. Good. Oh. A camera descends from the ceiling and pans slowly around us, before coming to a stop in front of me. The lens adjusts and focuses on me. Suddenly, another burst of static.
No, go away.
What? What?
Get out! Get him out!
What? Everyone turns around to stare at me.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. Stop blaming me for everything bad that happens. Mr. Auten's voice crackles over the speaker again.
Sophia, get rid of him!
What?
I'll take care of it right away, sir.
Sophia turns toward me.
Please follow me this way, Kangai.
But I didn't do anything.
Please follow me this way, Kangai.
Sophia repeats her request, but her voice sounds more tense. Fine, I'm coming. I follow Sophia down the winding staircase.
I apologize for Mr. Auten's sudden outburst. He's prone to unnatural mood swings based on unidentified provocation.
She sounds more like she's giving a press release than an apology.
We can proceed with your discussion after he is less agitated.
I mean, alright. You're not kicking me out.
Mr. Auten called for you. Once he settles down, he'll want to speak with you again. Until then, please make yourself at home while I go to work out the details of this visit with your associates.
Fair enough. She turns and heads back up the staircase without waiting for a response from me. Collapse on the stone bench with a sigh. I really can't catch a break, can I?
Are you okay?
Aki's followed me down the stairs. She looks concerned. No worries. I'm fine. After all, crazy old men yell at me all the time. She smiles, and I think I hear a small giggle escape her lips. At least she's amused.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's hardly your fault. No need to apologize.
Just sympathizing with you.
Oh. Alright, that part of your Kansei, you're just trying to be nice.
What do you think?
It's no good. Mr. Auten's refusing to come out.
Naoki and Li Mei join us in the front hallway.
Detective Gursky is still up there trying to talk to him, but he won't listen to reason.
Any idea what's going on up there?
No, I can't think of anything I've read that's like this.
I don't know what you did, but you've got Mr. Auten bunkered up in there pretty good.
I didn't do anything. You saw me.
Yeah, I saw. It doesn't make any sense, though. He seemed pretty insistent about talking with us today. Li Mei, what do you think?
Aki turns to the young girl. Li Mei closes her eyes. It almost looks like she's ready to drift off to sleep.
He's scared.
Yeah, we figured that much out already. Anything else? What about when he first reacted?
She inhales and lets out a tiny breath.
He was not surprised.
Not surprised? That's strange. Does that mean he expected to see me? If that were the case... My thoughts are interrupted by a new voice.
Whoa, hey, I didn't know we were having guests today.
A young man, probably in his teens or early 20s, is staring at us from the hallway. His gaze passes over Li Mei, Aki and Naoki before resting on me.
Way to go.
He gives me a thumbs up. Hey dude, not what it looks like. What?
I don't know how you managed to get 3 at once. That's a pretty sweet haul of chicks, man.
Who, them?
But I'm a guy.
Even better. Aki holds back a snicker.
Well, crap.
He shrugs and regains his composure quickly.
Ah, well, I've seen worse.
What's that supposed to mean?
Let's see. A bunch of people hanging out in the lobby for no reason. That's an easy one. Uncle called you out here, and now he's having a hissy fit and making you wait. Am I right?
Well,
Got it in one. And you must be William Auten.
this guy's Liam Auten? I guess I can see why Marissa mistook me for him. We look like we could pass for brothers. I feel a little insulted that she'd equate me with this guy, though. Everything I've heard about him screams slacker. It doesn't look like he's had a hard day in his life.
I'm Liam, alright? But who are you? You definitely don't look like business partners. Uncle's not the kind of guy who lets just anyone enter. He's all crazy paranoid that way.
If he's as paranoid as you say, why are you here?
Aki ignores Liam's question and counters with her own. Liam shrugs.
I'm family. It's not like he's got a choice.
Despite his casual air, I detect a hint of smugness around him. He probably enjoys feeling like he's above us. I've known this guy for about 10 seconds and he already ticks me off. Naoki looks like he agrees with me, but it's clear he's trying to hide his feelings. Aki, on the other hand, doesn't seem bothered at all.
Ah, so you're visiting your uncle today?
No, I live here.
Looks a little hurt that she'd assume otherwise.
Really? That's even cooler. Must be kind of boring for you, though.
Huh?
I was looking around earlier and nearly all the doors are locked.
His wounded expression quickly transforms into one of pride.
That's because you're a visitor. You don't get many access privileges. I'm allowed in, like, every room in the house.
Like? So, not all of them.
Aki's eyebrows shoot up. She definitely looks interested.
Yeah, well...
Liam looks to the side and mumbles.
There's like a lock on his office in the security room. Those rooms are pointless anyway.
Oh, well, if that's all.
Aki shrugs casually, and Liam relaxes his shoulders. Glance at Naoki. He's staring at some invisible point on the ground, trying his best not to be in the conversation. Relatable, Naoki. Relatable. Aki leans toward Liam and tilts her head as if to whisper in his ear.
Hey, can I ask you a question?
Voice is suddenly quiet. Spiritorial, almost.
Yeah, I guess so.
Aki watches Liam's expression carefully as it changes from uncertainty to curiosity.
I don't suppose I could ask you for a favor.
What?
He's caught off guard by the request.
Well, seeing as your uncle seems to be hanging us both out to dry, maybe we could at least spend the time doing something interesting.
Like...
I don't know. Maybe you could show me around. We could poke around your uncle's precious privacy while he's busy being difficult.
Well, Liam smirks.
I guess I've got nothing better to do with my time. Sure, why not?
There we go. He coils his arm around Aki's waist and guides her towards the hallway. Oh no.
Aki.
I suspect she knows exactly what she's doing.
Split up and explore what you can. Something about this doesn't settle well with me at all, and we might not get another chance.
I really wish she wouldn't do that. I'm still surprised every time she uses her brain voice. Kansei. Or whatever. Is she always like that?
Yeah, Aki has a way with people. She's persuasive.
So you can certainly tell. And no offense, but that was a rather thinly veiled bit of manipulation there. Why did he fall for it?
She uses her Kansei to push someone's thoughts in the direction she wants.
Ah, so mind control.
Nothing that powerful. Just subtle suggestions, like a whisper in the back of your mind.
I hope she doesn't intend to use that on me.
She can't.
Huh? What do you mean? Can't use it on other people with Kansei?
Those with Kansei are more sensitive. You'd know it's her voice.
Ah. Well, it relies on, making it feel like it's the voice in the back of your head.
To us, it sounds like she's speaking directly, but normal people only feel like they've just had a random impulse.
Well, that makes sense. Naoki gazes at the floor and kicks aside some imaginary dust, the side of his foot. What?
Nothing. We should probably get going. I'd rather not split up if we don't have to. I don't do well exploring new places.
You're not even leaving the house. How bad could it be?
Well, I got stuck in an elevator once because I couldn't figure out how to get it to go to another floor.
It's true.
Li Mei nods her head in confirmation. Don't even want to think about how he managed to accomplish that. Alright then, what should we do? Well, let's all go together. Let's all go together.
Is it really okay?
Sure, why not? As long as we learn something, I'm sure Aki won't care.
Is that okay with you, Li Mei?
It's fine.
The three of us walk down the hallway together. Naoki hangs behind Li Mei and I. He seems uncertain. Thought we were all going together. Or are you not coming?
I'm coming.
Naoki hurries to catch up to us. Nothing to be afraid of, man.
That's easy for you to say. I'm not like you.
The expression changes in Li Mei's eyes briefly, as if she's just recalled something that she had hoped to forget. So you're nervous, no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
The hallway stretches out with doors on either side. Behind the glass door at the end, a staircase leads downwards to parts unknown. So where do you two want to start? Maybe we should start at the end of the hall and work back.
Anything but the stairs.
Let's take the stairs.
Naoki and Li Mei speak at the same time before they both fall silent. Naoki looks nervous as usual. Li Mei looks moody. For some reason, they seem to be expecting me to make a decision. Admittedly, the stairs aren't the most inviting thing about this place, but just because they're out of the way doesn't mean they're that scary. So?
Where should we go?
Did I just ask them that? Why am I the only one who has to decide now? Alright. Take the stairs. Let's take the staircase.
What?
Li Mei doesn't smile, but her expression flickers, just slightly. She looks pleased.
But why?
Okay, we're gonna have to check it out anyways. Might as well get it over with.
I guess that makes sense.
The three of us descend the stairs. Li Mei leads the way, striding confidently down, while Naoki clings to the handrail with both hands. Dude, nothing's gonna happen.
Are you sure?
Okay, what exactly do you expect to happen? Think a ghost is gonna leap out at us?
No, but if there were a ghost, you'd see it, right?
No, what makes you think that?
Li Mei said you could sense when someone nearby is dead.
Sorta. It's more like being able to sense strong emotions, though. Fear, mostly. Sometimes desperation. Pick up on the emotions of someone once they realize they're dying. It's really only the powerfully negative stuff, though. It's not like I get warm fuzzies from grandmothers who die in their sleep.
I'm sorry. I can't imagine having to live like that.
I can't imagine not living like this. It feels like most of my life has been a...
Dead end.
What?
Li Mei points to the door at the bottom of the staircase. Nah.
Oh.
Scare me, Li Mei. I head down the stairs and inspect the door. Looks like the rest of the doors in the house. Every time I touch it, it beeps at me, but it doesn't budge. Looks like it's shut tight.
Sophia did say that we'd only have access to certain areas of the house.
Guess that doesn't include the basement.
Then let's go back.
Naoki leads the way as we return to the hallway. That wasn't so terrible, was it?
Well, no.
By the way, you mentioned that Li Mei told you about my ability.
She's the one who noticed you first. When you used your Kansei yesterday, she felt it.
The emotions of the deceased were amplified in you.
I see. Seems like nothing escapes this girl.
Well, should we keep exploring the house?
Yeah, let's get... Uh-oh. Ah.
Whoa, are you okay?
I don't feel so good.
It's happening.
What's going on?
I feel my stomach churning. Li Mei looks ill, too. She's feeling our emotions, we're feeling the emotions of the recently deceased. Please don't.
Scared. He's scared.
Who? Kangai?
I clutch my stomach. Everything feels so light. It's Mr. Auten. I race down the hallway, still clutching at my stomach. Mr. Auten! Stumble up the staircase, barely stopping for breath as I head towards Mr. Auten's office. Naoki chases after me, stopping short at the top of the stairs. Something's wrong with Mr. Auten. Rush to the door and pound on it frantically. Mr. Auten! Mr. Auten! Gursky grabs me by the shoulders and pulls me back away from the door. Let me in, there's something wrong!
Whoa, kid, calm down.
I feel like I'm about to throw up, but I doubt Detective Gursky would appreciate that. He's not okay. Gursky stares at me for a moment. He looks torn. I can tell he's not exactly ready to trust me yet, but I think he also feels like something is wrong. Finally, he turns to Sophia.
Mr. Auten has been unusually quiet for a while. Are you sure everything is okay? Is there any way we can force ourselves in?
Sophia doesn't look pleased by his request.
It's certainly unorthodox. I don't think Mr. Auten would be pleased.
I think he'd be even less pleased if he needed medical attention and we didn't get it to him.
Sophia sighs and nods.
Very well. The only way to open the office without express permission is to reset the security system.
And how exactly does one do that?
Someone needs to reboot the system manually, then someone else has to enter the restart code within 10 seconds of the system being rebooted.
Sounds complicated.
It's meant to provide maximum security for Mr. Auten. I'm the only one here who knows the code, so someone else will have to go to the basement to reset the power.
You mean down the staircase? I think that door is locked to visitors.
It is, but I can open it from here. Once you head down there, everything will be fine.
Detective Gursky glances over my shoulder. How'd you know that, kid?
Alright, Naoki. Go reset it.
What? Why me?
Somehow I get the feeling Naoki says that a lot. Doesn't look too thrilled to have to go back down there. I kind of feel bad for him. Why don't I go down there instead?
You?
Yeah, why not? I know how to flip a few switches.
Yeah, he could do it.
Detective Gursky shrugs.
Sure, why not?
Alright, the reboot process is fairly simple. Just flip all the switches off, then on, then push the reset button.
Okay. I head down the stairs and back down the staircase. Door opens for me without any resistance. The basement is piled up high with wooden crates and dusty boxes. I wonder what Mr. Auten keeps in here. The switch box is on the far wall. I pry the cover open and it opens with a rusty squeal. The inside is just as Sophia described. I quickly flip the switches according to her instructions and the lights switch off, leaving nothing but the eerie glow of the emergency lights. I hit the reset button, and after a few seconds I hear a quiet hum. The lights switch back on and I race back to the main hallway. Detective Gursky stops me as soon as I reach the top of the stairs.
Sorry, kid. There's nothing you can do now.
What do you mean? Detective Gursky glances at the office door as Sophia exits. She looks pretty shaken. Naoki is at her side, supporting her.
You were right about Mr. Auten. He's dead.
What? What happened?
He was already dead when we got there. Sophia tried to revive him, but...
Naoki stops and glances at Detective Gursky uncomfortably.
I stopped her. It was too risky.
Risky? What do you mean?
It's not important.
Detective Gursky approaches Sophia and places a hand on her shoulder.
Sophia, I know you're upset, but we need to contact the police. My phone isn't getting any signal.
All signal is blocked off in this place. Mr. Auten's orders, of course.
Of course.
Is there a landline I can use then?
In there.
Sophia lets go of Naoki and numbly points at the door.
I'll show you.
As the two of them leave, Li Mei approaches us. Any sign of her distress from before has disappeared. Her expression is placid.
He's gone.
Yeah. Naoki, what happened in there?
Well...
Naoki shifts back and forth as if he's not sure what he should be saying.
Migala checked his pulse, but he was already dead.
You said Sophia tried to revive him.
Yeah, she was going to use CPR, but Detective Gursky stopped her. He said that Mr. Auten looked like he had been poisoned, and she might get poisoned herself if she tried mouth to mouth.
Naoki sighs. He looks pretty shaken himself.
We should tell Aki what happened.
Don't know where she is.
She's coming.
Li Mei turns toward the staircase just as Aki reaches the top.
Hey, what happened? The lights went out for a moment.
Mr. Auten died.
Died? How?
Poisoning, it seems.
Did you read his last moments?
Afraid not. Gursky won't let me in there.
What about you? Did you see it?
Aki turns to Naoki and he nods.
I got it.
Good, and we'll take a look at it later.
Detective Gursky exits the study with Sophia. She appears to have calmed down, but her body still trembles every time she breathes in.
The police are on their way. It's a bit of a drive for them, so we'll have to sit tight until then. I suggest we all wait downstairs.
So if we stay up top here... Don't worry, I'm sure it'll be okay.
Right.
Naoki doesn't seem too inspired by my words, but he leaves anyway. We stand in awkward silence for a few minutes before the lights flicker off. Click. As soon as the lights power back on, Sophia punches in a rapid-fire series of numbers into the keypad beside the door. The door swings open and the three of us crowd in the doorway.
Mr. Auten!
Sophia rushes in and grabs the body lying on the floor.
Mr. Auten! Sir!
She shakes him gently, but he doesn't respond. Detective Gursky leans over Mr. Auten's body and places 2 fingers on his neck.
He doesn't have a pulse.
No, he was just alive a moment ago.
Sophia pulls Mr. Auten's body away from the desk and tries to roll it over, but she can't support his weight.
What are you doing?
There's still a chance I can save him. Please help me.
Gursky points at me.
Kangai, help us move the body.
I step forward and coil my arm under one of Mr. Auten's arms. With a groan, Detective Gursky and I lift the body and lay Mr. Auten on his back. As I lay Mr. Auten's arm down, my hand brushes against his. Oh no, not now. Not. Even as I struggle to maintain consciousness, my mind is flooded with Mr. Auten's final thoughts. I'm hot, but it's not because of my surroundings. I feel like I'm burning up from the inside. I can't breathe. And all I can feel is fear. I did not protect her. I should never have let her be with him. I wish I had never met him. No, I wish I could have stopped him. I was so close. No matter what, he mustn't find it. Please, someone, anyone, keep it safe. The vault must be protected at all costs. I open my eyes as slowly I'm kneeling on the ground. But Detective Gursky and Sophia aren't even looking at me. Sophia has her hands on Mr. Auten's chest with her fingertips interlocked.
1, 2, 3, 4.
She pumps his chest with her hands, coming out loud as she does. Mr. Auten doesn't move. Again, she pumps his chest, trying to start his heart, but again, nothing. He leans down and grabs his mouth, but Detective Gursky steps in and pulls her away.
That's enough.
What are you doing? There's still a chance.
She punches him with her free arm, but it doesn't affect him.
Look at him. His skin is pale, his pupils are dilated, and he's covered in sweat. There's a good chance he was poisoned, and you could be poisoned too if you try to resuscitate him.
Sophia makes another desperate attempt to escape from Detective Gursky's grip. But he holds her firm.
Don't. You did your best, but there's nothing we can do now.
Sophia's knees buckle under her, and she falls to the ground with a choked sob. Thought she was just Mr.
Don't. You...
Oh god. Thought she was just Mr. Auten's personal assistant, but his death seems to have really shaken her up. Detective Gursky kneels beside her and places a hand gently on her shoulder.
Sophia, everything's going to be okay.
She shakes her head. When she opens her mouth to speak, all she can do is sob. I back out of the room slowly. They really don't need me here right now. In the hallway, Naoki and Li Mei are waiting. We've got our murder. We'll keep going next time. Until then.